Everybody, it is Mike Young, adigitalnomad.net, and I'm doing a long-term video from Tesla Model X. And in case you don't know, and I want to prove to you what I've got here. Let me see. Oh, that's not going to work. On my app, you can see I've got 175,733 miles on my Tesla Model X that's named adigitalnomad.net, and it's 90 degrees in my car right now. Maybe I should turn the air conditioner on. I don't. Yeah, actually, let me do that. Turn it on, cool it off. It's a hot day, it's a summer. Anyway, this is my long-term ownership video. Excuse me for that. This is the first time I've done a video that didn't have my actual car in the background or me like walking around the car, but you can see from my green screen, I've got a Tesla Model X that looks kind of sort of like mine, except it's white. And I chose a white color because it just contrasts out a lot better than the black, because I got black interior, black paint. And let me get to that first part of this evaluation for long-term ownership, is that there is nothing wrong with the paint on my car. There's nothing wrong with the interior seats or anything like that. Everything, all that kind of stuff. I mean, occasionally I've banged into something, broken a piece of plastic or something like that. That's my fault. But so far, with that kind of mileage, getting close to 180,000 miles in 4.5 years, because I got it in March of 2017, it's looking great. No problem. It's dirty. Okay. My wife, Denise, will definitely verify that it's one of the dirtiest Teslas there is, but it works. It gets me from point A to point B. We do all of our videos in there. We do car camping. We do all kinds of long distance road trips and things. And if you're new to the channel, because you're just like searched up, well, what happens for somebody who owns a car this long? Well, we got all that stuff on the channel. Everything you want to know, we've documented everything. So check it out. Just search. All you gotta do is, if you want a topic and you want our video, just go type in A Digital Nomad, all one word, A Digital Nomad, and then Tesla, and then whatever topic you want, and then you'll see our video right near the top. It's a good way to search it. So let's talk more about this and let you know too that I'm the original owner. How did I get this car? I bought it online in December of 2016. I've done many videos, including some recently, about why I believe those are the most valuable Teslas ever. I've had free unlimited supercharging, so I've charged for free. We just passed charge number 2000. I'm like on 2002 now, something like that. You figure about $20 a charge. That's about $40,000 worth of electricity from Tesla and Elon Musk. So thank you very much for that. That's great. It was an early adopter. I paid more. Okay, let's put it this way. I paid more money than what the Model X is going for these days. Although with the redesigned Model X on the interior and the new drivetrains, they actually raised the price on those. But I paid more than everybody else that has one that looks like mine and has similar capabilities, because that's all worked in there. So I don't think it was truly for free. There's really nothing that's ever really free. But if I use it enough and the car lasts long enough, it will provide some real value, and it could be free. And even if I don't keep the car and I sell it, mine is transferable to somebody else, so they'll get the benefit too. So if you want to buy a car with full with free supercharging that goes with the car, I've got one. And the way you can check on that, I made a video on this too, is just look on the screen when you're charging. There will be no numbers. There'll be no dollar amounts while you're supercharging, because nobody's going to ever have to pay anyway. But that's another video. There's more to it than that. But anyway, let's keep talking. So I took delivery in March of 2017. I have a delivery day video on there too, all that stuff. Tesla was a totally different company back then. There was no Model 3 on the road. There was no Model Y on the road. It was just S and X. And I got the non-performance. I got the 5-seater. What you see behind me is not the 5-seater. The back seats in the 5-seater don't look like that. So maybe I should stand over here. How's that? Whoop. Does that look better? Okay. Now I have a falcon wing door sticking out of my head. Anyway, everything's held up great. 5-seater is the best for car camping, because you get to fold everything flat and the seats in the back. And you have this area behind the rear wheel, well, there, behind and below the floor for storage. You don't have that in the 7-seater because it's taken up with mostly seats and stuff like that. So that's what you want if you're going to do road tripping, car camping. It's got the most space of any Tesla, at least available now. Definitely bigger than Model Y. Wider. We got a cooler back there. We got our inflatable twin mattress. We got everything. So check it all out on our channel. All kinds of stuff like that. let's see, what else can I tell you? All right. I was just having this conversation a few days ago with people like asking about what's the ownership experience been like, how's it compare? And my previous cars were like a 92 Honda Civic, which lasted me 20 years and 375,000 miles. And I had almost no work done at the dealer, ever. I can't, well, no repair work, no, when I say repair, I mean like there was nothing outside of normal maintenance except for the air conditioning breaking on that car because that was dealer installed. And I blame that whole system, which no longer exists for Honda. So then I had two Toyota trucks. Had one of the first Tundras that was built in the United States, early Tundra. It had all kinds of problems with everything that bolted on, except for the engine and transmission. But that was also a first brand new truck. They don't have problems like that anymore in their trucks. I got a newer Tacoma, no problems. I've had that for almost 6 years, never been back to the dealer for any repairs at all. Just normal fluid changing, that's it. My Lexus 2012 CT200, never been back until we finally got some notice where we had to take it in for some kind of A-pillar, which is right up here. Some kind of airbag clip in there. And we had to take it back. They had to fix it. They had to change something out. So they did that. And this car, though, my Tesla, which actually you can tell this is not even a full self-driving one because there's no camera right here. See that? It's just the badge with the turn signal in it. Chrome and a turn signal. Anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, I have been back to the service center. There's no dealer network with Tesla, in case you don't know that. They don't advertise. They don't pay to advertise, believe it or not. They don't have any dealer networks. It's service centers, all owned by Tesla, where they have shops in the mall. Those are not I guess they are showrooms. They're showrooms, but they're not dealers. I can't even tell you how many times I've been back to Tesla. All kinds of things. When I add up all the times for my last 3 cars, it's still like exponentially higher than that. But there's no better car on the road than what we have, what I'm driving, or any Tesla for that matter, for the most part. They're just different sizes. There's no better car on the road. I would still get another one if this one got wrecked or something like that. I wouldn't hesitate because nobody has the technology and the future-proof stuff that's in there. Now, if I think about it, when I took delivery of my car in 2017, it had MCU1. I upgraded at some point to MCU2 and watched videos on that. That's been a great upgrade. It's wonderful. I'm so glad I did it. I can't wait for MCU3. It'll be even better. They'll have even more features. I had the full self-driving computer installed at MCU1, MCU2 to MCU1 to MCU2 cost me money. Okay, like $1,500, something like that, $1,000. The full self-driving computer, since I paid for full self-driving and I'm not using the newly available subscription, I paid it all in advance. It was worked into my car payment. I got the upgrade for free, no cost. So I got the full self-driving computer. It not capable of that. And of course, I got 8 cameras. It will do, if you believe Elon Musk, it will do the full self-driving when that's available. Who knows when that's going to be available? Who knows? Don't even bother asking. But it's fine. It will be. And I'm a careful driver. I hope my vehicle will be around for this. This is again why I bought it. I placed the order in 2016, end of the year, and took delivery in 2017 because of all these things. Still working out great. I have no regrets. I hope you can hear this and tell this from my video here that I'm talking about. No regrets at all. And also know that I am not a member of the Tesla church. I am not some rabid Tesla fanboy. And I'm telling you like it is. In my videos, I tell you like it is too. When there's problems, there's problems. I'm going to tell you about them. I'm not going to try to gloss it over and pretend like nothing's there, which plenty of people have, including the front end vibration here on the driveline of Model X. Plenty of people have glossed over that. Okay, plenty. And there's all kinds of reasons why. But let me tell you, that's been a problem with my car. It's still not solved that I know about. I had my front drive system, the CV joints and other parts like engine or motor mounts in the front replaced because it was during my warranty period, which ended at like 50 or 60,000 miles, whenever that is. Had that replaced, fixed it for a while, came back. Outside my warranty period, like 100,000 miles. This was in 2019, 2 years ago. I just told Tesla, hey, through the app, because you can't talk to a human, I told them, I've got a problem. It's documented. It still wasn't solved. I had documented it after the replacement, the first time that it came back. And they had just issued a TSB of new parts, newly designed parts to deal with that issue. So they actually replaced all the parts, the drive axles in the front, and also the new clevis mount, which helps to hold everything steady and firm so it doesn't vibrate. They replaced that in 2019 for free. I had over 100,000 miles in my car. I was way out of the warranty for those parts anyway. And then it came back in 6 months again, of course. The parts were better, but not good enough. It happened all over again. So here we are in 2021. And this is part of my update with my long-term experience here is that I'm waiting now. It's either going to be tomorrow or maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure if they can guarantee me a loaner or get the work done tomorrow. I need it done in one day. If they can't, then I'm going to end up delaying it 2 weeks. But they've already told me for free again, and you saw the mileage on my car. We're getting close to 200,000 miles. They issued another TSB about a month ago with new parts again for this front driveline issue. They're going to replace them all again for free. It would have been like $2,500, I think was the quote from Tesla about a year ago, because I've needed them for a long time now. Okay, there's all kinds of vibration unless I'm in very low, basically. It still works fine in very low, but you can't just drive it very low all the time. At least I can't. There's very little suspension travel. It's really bumpy. And then, of course, you get the rear tire wear issue. So let me talk about that. So that solves the front end driveline vibration combined with rear inner tire wear. We solved that thanks to Don over at Intuitive in Los Angeles, California. Get those parts N and then the letter N, the number 2, N2 ITIVE, Intuitive. They make special parts that Tesla's probably not going to install them. But when you put these on your car, they will replace the non-adjustable camber and toe arms in the rear suspension, which basically make your tires, especially when you go into low. See if I can do this. Go like this. You can even see that the back tire, it's kind of sticking out like that. If you look, it's kind of at an angle. You can kind of see it. I know what I'm looking at now. You may not be able to tell. Anyway, those parts fix the problem. I finally had this installed on our road trip that Denise and I did across the United States during COVID in December when everything was shut down. Went back twice to get it aligned because we had to make a few adjustments because they're new, but it's all been worked out now. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, I was one of the first people. And it's been great. I have my wife Denise will verify. I have not complained about rear tire wear because usually it's like not only is it the tires go bad and you can't see unless you crawl under your vehicle, but then they start to wear out around. They're not wearing evenly. They start to make noise. All this noise. It doesn't track right. If you're throwing into an aggressive corner, it tracks great when you got the camber out like this. But when you're just driving normally, you want them close to straight so you can have full contact patch in normal driving. So it drives great now. All right, that problem has been solved. It took this long to solve it, but I don't mind. And maybe the front end vibration problem is solved now. Maybe not. I have a feeling not, but I am very thankful that Tesla is going to take the hit for this change out because I know it's an issue. The bottom line is these motors, especially the front motor with the steering axle, it's back. The wheel, the tires don't steer in the back; they just stay straight. But in the front, they're constantly steering. Too much torque all the time. It's maximum torque all the time. And anytime you get into it, it just puts huge amounts of wear on those bearings and the races that the bearings are held in, and it just starts to vibrate. So one of these days it will get fixed, and I'll hold my car. That's how much I love this car. That's how great it is. But I don't love my car enough to clean it. You probably noticed that. But I think it's a great car. Everything it does is great. Cosmetically, I'm just not at this point. Anytime you get that kind of mileage on it, you're going to have a lot of cosmetic imperfections. I don't even see the point in even cleaning it at this point. But that's that. Let's see, other things I've had to do besides tires, and tires have been exacerbated, especially by the rears, because in Model X, the rear tires, oh my gosh, this is back. The rear tires are wider than the front tires. So you can't rotate them. And then when the rears keep wearing and wearing, you're replacing a lot of rear tires. I didn't catch on to that with the first tire change, but after that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be replacing rear tires forever. The fronts last forever. The rears just keep wearing out on the insides. That's the thing with Model X. But again, you can fix that. You can remedy that now, thankfully. So go to Don and Intuitive. So I've had to replace tires, which will hopefully really slow down now. I think now that we've got a good balance point, and maybe they'll fix the front with the vibration now, maybe we can be in a real good sweet spot. And don't think, though, that 200,000 miles is the end of the life. It's not. And I've said this in the past, I expect this car to last about 1 million miles and or 20 years, whichever comes first. And I have a feeling, I don't know which is going to come first. It may be 20 years. Maybe we'll get 25 years and 1,000,000 miles out of it. I don't know. So those things are obvious. Tires, you can't do anything about. Wiper blades, you can't do anything about. Air filters, not on the engine, because there is no engine. You know, the cabin air filter and the HEPA. I got this big giant, it's like a surfboard. The thing is huge. I've changed that out once. I got to change it out again, probably once every 100,000 miles, something like that. But of course, there's been no oil changes, no fluid changes at all. There's no maintenance schedule for any of that stuff. There is no transmission. There is a single speed gearbox, which is sealed and has fluid in it. I can't do anything about it that I know of, unless you guys know, let me know. I don't change the coolant that's circulating for the batteries because they're always heated and cooled. And, you know, but I have changed the compressor on the air conditioning unit, HVAC air conditioning unit, because I've supercharged over 2,000 times now. Whenever you supercharge, it puts a tremendous amount of electricity into your battery all at once, and it creates a tremendous amount of heat. So it kicks your air conditioner into overdrive. And I've done it over 2,000 times now. And this is in addition to regular driving of almost 200,000 miles and car camping. When we car camp, we leave either the air conditioner or the heater or some combination on, because it's automatic climate control, all night long. And we have car camp. I couldn't even tell you how many times we've car camp. We probably should have been keeping track of how many nights that I've used it. But anyway, that just happened in the last 2 months. And the cost on that was something like, I don't know, $2,000, something like that. They also ended up breaking my windshield wiper motor and arms during that process, but they fixed it for free, thankfully. So thank you for that. It was a little bit of an inconvenience, but no big deal overall. I have all new parts, but I don't use the wipers all that much. I coat the windshield with Rain-X. So I doubt it was from overuse or even using for that many miles, as I probably use it less, or it's also probably wearing better because it's more slick on the windshield. But outside of that, that's normal. I consider replacing your air conditioning compressor on an electric car. I consider that you're going to have to do that more often than you would on an ICE vehicle. Because an ICE vehicle, you're usually not car camping in your car. And if you are, you're not leaving the air conditioner on. And you're not having to cool off your engine with your air conditioning unit, which is basically what you have to do when you cool the battery pack off. So it gets a lot more wear. I'd say that's normal. And of course, you can't survive without it. When it breaks on your electric car and your Tesla, any kind of electric car that has that climate controlled batteries, where they heat them and cool them to keep them at the set temperature, like the inside of your house. That's what your battery pack likes. Same thing. So it's just a whole other task that doesn't occur in an ICE vehicle. And so that's normal. I wouldn't expect to get more than 200,000 miles out of an air conditioning compressor. And truly, I don't know if you'd expect to get more than 200,000 miles out of an air conditioning compressor on an ICE vehicle either. If you've experienced anything like that, let me know, or let me know any of that you think in the comments. Other thing that has to be done recently, and I just recognized that this was related to the front end driveline and the rear tire wear issue, specifically the rear tire wear issue. Before I had these parts on from Don, I had some other parts installed before those, which catastrophically failed within about 3 months. And I got a video on that. You can look that up if you want to. I lost all hope, I'd say. When those first ones failed, I'm like, oh my gosh, we can't do anything. I'm just going to keep buying rear tires and rear tires and rear tires. And of course, believe it or not, this problem gets worse as the car gets older, since you cannot adjust that camber from the factory, and it just starts to sag. The bushings wear out and it gets worse. I'm like, I can see what's going to happen. So what did I do? I started raising the suspension up wherever I could at low speeds and fixing it there. You can put it in memory. So it was raising it up so they're more straight, and it was helping my tire wear, but it wore out the pump on the front, on the air suspension system, which is actually all four wheels on Model X. It's all air suspension. There's no coil springs, no traditional stuff like that. So I had that replaced like 3 months ago, something like that. I think the cost on that was like $800, something like that. I'm looking into the relation to that between the problem of the front end vibration and specifically rear tire wear, which is, there's related issues. But because if you don't get these parts, if I don't pay money, which I did pay money gladly to Don over at Intuitive and the installer, and we had, who was that? EV Fix Me over in Costa Mesa, and there was a alignment shop. I can't remember the name. It was some kind of number over there in Los Angeles, near there. Anyway, they were great. But I had to pay money to get this thing fixed too. And it's all related to these issues on the car. And I've heard someone say, well, this car, Tesla Model X, tries to be all things to everyone. And as we know, You can't do that. That's not possible. It's like, just like it's not possible to satisfy everyone or to make all people happy. I mean, you can try and try all day, all your life, and it will never happen because it's just the way things are. It's just the way of the world. And this car, if you think about it, like we're pulling 5,000 pounds. I'm towing. Okay, I've towed a lot. I should be keeping track of my towing mileage also, but I have not been doing that. But I've been pulling a double axle trailer with a lot of equipment in it, and it weighs about 5,000 pounds. I've been doing all kinds of towing. I've been doing I've done some off-roading, not like, I don't know, I'm not climbing over rocks off-roading, but I'm not on paved streets. I'm raising the suspension up. It's an area where you've got to have some ground clearance so that you don't scrape anything, okay? That's the kind of off-roading I'm talking about, because Tesla never recommends you off-road because there's no skid plates on the car. I'm not rubbing the undercarriage, the battery and stuff with rocks, okay? That's what you don't want to do. That might even blow the car up for all I know, or at least set it on fire, or leak the coolant and heat lines, leak the batteries, everything. It could be a massive mess. That's why you don't ever want to take any Tesla that's been built up to this point off-road, because there's no skid plates. But like I said, I've been driving it on places that are not normally paved streets, all kinds of stuff like that, like light off-roading on beaches. I shared videos again. I was talking to people about when we went a few years back. We're off-roading on the beach because I saw Model X that got stuck in California, like a mile away from the beach entrance, and them trying to pull it out. That was kind of funny. And someone was like, why would they ever do that? And then I was like, oh, they might have got the idea here. And I showed this video from like 4 years ago when Denise and I had gone out on the beach. There's a couple of times we went on different beaches with the car. And that was it was fun. I don't think I'd go back and do it again. At least not on the four-wheel drive only beach. That's the first one we went on. The second one was like you had to go on the beach to access the next group of houses further up because there were no actual roads to them. That we could do again. I think no problem with that. So I've done all these things. So if you've never watched my channel, you just got a great overview of all the things that we've been into, and it's all happening in this car. And you also will see that the 175,000 plus mileage has no relation whatsoever to the actual amount of total wear that's on this vehicle. It's not even close, because that doesn't factor in all the towing, which we all know, especially, and I'm pulling weight on the highway too, okay? Towing is at least doubling the amount of wear on the vehicle for all towing miles, I would say, for any vehicle, unless you're pulling, I don't know, if your vehicle has a 50,000 pound weight limit and you're towing 1,000 pounds, maybe it's not double. But like mine has a 5,000 pound weight limit. I'm towing 5,000 pounds. Actually, I think the motors and battery pack have no problem with that. Although I could have a bigger battery pack, that would be great. Really good, actually. But the suspension and brakes, forget it. They're not going to be towing any more than that. There's no way. Not on this vehicle. So I've been doing that. We've been car camping, right? And I've been supercharging like crazy. Over 2,000 supercharges. Do you know anybody that's done that? Comment below. And also, if you haven't picked it up already, I think I mentioned it, but I'm not sure. I don't have a home charger. I've never had a home charger. Again, one of the reasons why that really motivated me to get this car when I did was that the supercharger network itself in existence and reliable. I put a lot of faith in that, and it hasn't let me down. There has been, all this time, there's been so few times where either a specific stall was not working, and I just moved to another one at the same location, or I've had to wait. It's been so few times it's probably, I don't know, this is probably the number of times that's happened. In all the times that I have supercharged and been on road trips and towing and everything, car camping, you name it. So it's been a great experience. Let me know any other questions you have for me below, and I will continue to make these videos as time goes on, as more wear happens to my car. Hopefully the car continues to exist, because this is a great vehicle. It's more than just, it's not like, oh, I love my car, you can't have my car. It's like, this is an actual practical, and if you'll believe Elon Musk, appreciating asset. Okay, that's why I don't want to get rid of it. That's why I don't even want a new one. People have been saying, you get a new one. Well, a new one is not going to provide me with the same features that I have that are not even available on the new ones, like no cost free unlimited supercharging for the life of the vehicle. I am not subject also to the Tesla fair use supercharger policy, which limits and prevents, actually prohibits organizations and businesses from even using the supercharger network. And of course, I got it in a low price for the full self-driving. And gosh, well, those are the most important things, because and the warranty, 8 years unlimited mileage on the battery and drive unit, not the CV joints that were replaced, but the motor and batteries, okay? And I think the inverter, 8 years unlimited. That's not available on S and X anymore. That warranty has been scaled back. So everything's great, wonderful. Of course, I bought Tesla stock, if you want to know about that, back in 2018, when it looked like the company was going bankrupt during the Model 3 launch, which if you look at all past history of Tesla, they've almost gone bankrupt every single time that they have launched a new vehicle until Model Y. That's the first one that they actually did ahead of schedule, and they didn't teeter on the verge of bankruptcy. So that company is really, it's solid now. That the future is clear for what that company, and that's just for producing traditional automobiles. Wait till you see what happens, I think, in the next few years with the robo-taxis, full self-driving, all that. It's going to be exciting to watch, and it's going to be exciting to watch my car as it gets old. Let's say you get like 500,000 or 600,000 miles on my car. Then I'll start to say, well, you're looking a little old. I don't know. Well, actually, I probably won't even need a car at that point. We're doing all this driving. We probably will have already seen everything in our trips. And if you look at by the way, if you look on our YouTube channel, all of our trips that we've taken are all on there too. Unless you're talking about this food specifically, that's on our nonprofit channel. And there's a link below. It should be a link actually in the YouTube channel itself. It's called aplantbaseddiet.org. That's where all our food stuff is. I don't put the food stuff for the most part on the Digital Nomad. But anyway, let's just say Denise and I have already traveled everywhere. Well, then we'll just send this thing out. This thing will just be another asset, an income producing asset. That's what it'll be. It's crazy. And it's also the most expensive car. When I bought it in 2017, most expensive car I ever bought, $107,000. And I also want to say to you fans out there, because the world has changed since I placed my order in 2016, that mine is no animal product interior that fits all these descriptions, like I said, and no animal product interior. Now, you could always have gotten the base seats, which I did. These actually, I think, are faux leather, like a human-made thing, not the animal skins. But even if you did that back in a time frame, you would still get a leather-wrapped steering wheel. So I had them install a urethane from the factory steering wheel. So my steering wheel is different than possibly almost every other Tesla out there. I don't know. There may be a couple other ones that were built because they weren't even building many cars during that time. But so I have all that. I'm happy with all that. Look forward to reading your questions, comments below. Also, let me know in the comments, what's your longest lasting, highest mileage car that you have either owned? I want to hear like the top. And which car have you personally driven the most time and put the most mileage on? Like I said, so far my record, I've got a good track record, right? 20 years original owner on that Honda. 1992 to 2012. Is that right? 1992 to 2012. Yes, 20 years and 385,000 miles. Those were all driven almost exclusively by me, almost exclusively. Same with this. Denise has driven this car a few times. I even offered her yesterday. She didn't want to drive it. But that's fine. Almost exclusively by me on this. So you're hearing the full experience. Everything that's going on. I'm trying to think if I forgot to tell you about anything in particular. Everything else, there may have been a few things that are all minor. 12-volt battery, that's on the channel. I replaced that myself. I will replace it myself again in the future. I have a tutorial on that. Again, any videos, any of these things that I've talked about with Model X, you want to find my video on it? Just type in the search bar on YouTube, A Digital Nomad, all one word, A Digital Nomad, space, Tesla, space, and then whatever else you're looking for, and the video will pop up. We've got like 4,000 videos, I think, almost at this point in time. And it's going to keep going up. And if there's any place you want us to travel with the car, let us know too. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So look forward to the next video, maybe in another year. I think I skipped year number 3. I think I did year, after 2 years. I don't think I did after 3 years. But now we are really going up. We're ramping up in the mileage here at year 4. We're going to have to do a video every year, maybe even every 6 months. If something happens, I'll let you know. Oh, and so far, thankfully, have not been in an accident, okay? Because we all know with Teslas, something that looks like a little bash in the sheet metal between the driver's and passenger door could be, something where you crush the battery pack. It could be incredibly expensive because the battery pack is down there between all 4 tires and below the floor, the seats that you sit on. It's that little space in between that 5 inches all the way around underneath between those tires. And it sticks out and gets crushed. So that's the problem. But it also protects you. It's one of the safest cars you can buy. It's another thing you should know about Teslas. Fastest cars pretty much you can buy, safest cars you can buy. I say probably longest lasting cars you can buy, most American cars you can buy. The list goes on and on. So it's Mike signing off. Thanks so much for watching. This is July 19th, 2021. You saw my mileage. Took delivery in March 2017. I'll see you soon for the next update. Bye.